What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of the Disney Plus original movie, Flora Ulysses. Now, this movie, of course, is directed by Lena. And before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button as well as commenting below on any video to watch, including this one. So what is Flora and Ulysses? It's very much a kid's superhero movie, believe it or not. It's about a young girl named Flora who, like her dad, is very much into superheroes. Her dad, who's played by Ben Schwartz, is a guy who actually has inspiration by comic books. He makes his own comic books, and he, after some trials and tribulations, basically gave up on it, as well as his marriage. His marriage kind of went down the drain. He was married to Alyson, Hannigan's character, who plays Flora's mom. And after an incident with this vacuum machine or whatever that's called Ulysses or something like that, this squirrel basically gets sucked up into this machine. And basically what ends up happening is this squirrel and Flora develop a bond. And the squirrel that she names Ulysses is very, very smart. It knows how to type poetry, which is kind of awesome. And it has the makings of an origin superhero story because of how the squirrel can kind of do superhuman stuff, like, hold people up with this superhuman strength, fly in the air, typical what flying squirrels can do, especially with the flying situation. And in the process, we have a character who's played by Pudi, who you might remember from Community, who plays that over-the-top, overzealous, his job is super important to him, kind of like Sacha Baron Cohen was in Hugo. And he's an animal, basically captured person. He takes, finds wild animals, captures them, takes them to the vet and the shelters and stuff like that. And so in essence, we have Pudi trying to go after this squirrel, and then, Ben Schwartz and this young girl, Flora, trying to take care of the squirrel, and Alyson Hannigan, who writes she writes love stories basically and whatnot, and she's like the kind of not believer until the story plays along. And so with that said, it's very much a Disney movie. It's very much a young kids fantasy style superhero story. The movie has a lot of fantastical elements. It has a lot of over the top situations. It has a lot of stuff that's not really believable, but because the Disney spin is put on it, and because the director has given that fantastical touch, it really does feel like a Disney movie. So I wrote on Twitter that this movie, after watching it, there's two words to define what this movie is, and it's delightful and adorable, because I really, really enjoyed this movie. I thought it's fun. I thought it's entertaining. I think it does the superhero genre kind of justice a little bit when it takes it down to like the young kids level. It's a movie that is so over the top and silly that your brain just kind of, it feels like the endorphins are just coming out, to make you feel happy when you're watching this movie. The young kids in this movie are exactly who you expect them to be. The adults are exactly who you expect them to be. But I think that's what's fun about Disney movies like this, is you can take those stereotypical characters, like the young, audacious young girl or young boy, or the downtrodden parents, or the over-the-top zanies, over-the-top villain. And as long as you have an interesting, fun story, and you have some interesting, fun concepts, and you have some interesting kind of ways to do it, I think you can really, truly take the overwrought or overworn material and just put a nice, fun spin on it. And that's what this movie is. It's fun, it's nice, there's nothing really dangerous or serious about it, outside of like the Pudi character, who gets his own form of justice put up against him with this cat that's in the movie, which is really funny. And that's another point about this movie, is it's just really funny and really enjoyable, and it's very sweet in what it's trying to do. It doesn't feel like a movie that is going to push your buttons on emotionality, but it's a movie that has so much heart and so much just good times watching it, that I felt like I was enjoying every second. I mean, it's only an hour and 20 minutes, and I just felt like I was like enveloped in a nice warm blanket while watching this movie. I mean, you sit there and you watch this young girl with a squirrel who seems to be almost like competent in its logic and what it's trying to do, and all it does is want to eat the whole movie. Like every time it types on the typewriter, he always puts like he's hungry. He's like wants food, or his stomach is empty and stuff like that. And it's very much what squirrels do. They're always constantly finding food or trying to eat food. And the many moments that this squirrel, that's completely CGI, by the way, that he's on the screen. It's just an adorable character that I think children will eat up. I think parents will eat it up because, you know, you look at like the one and only Ivan, these characters that Disney has been kind of, or at least the directors in Disney and animated, and I think it was Lucasfilm helped make this movie. The characters they're putting on screen are very much human, emotive characters, and I think that's why we connect with them so much, because these characters are not realistic, but they have so much emotional heart to them that when you watch a character like Ulysses, he, even though he's a squirrel, and there are very much ideas about squirrels and rabies and, you know, diseases and stuff, which is very much played up in this movie. I think this is one, like a character like Stitch, where it's just a fun, just goofy, silly character that still has a lot of heart, that still plays on your heartstrings. And as this young girl kind of, you know, wants to protect this creature because it's a special type of character. And I think Ulysses is going to be one of those characters, like I said, that young kids really get attached to. And it's just some of the stuff the character does in this movie, you just eat it up and have fun with it. And that's what makes this movie special. It really does. It's a movie that I had no real kind of idea what I was getting myself into, but after watching it, I can definitely say it's one of the better Disney Plus movies. And to kind of close out on this review, the CGI of this movie is hit or miss once again. I think Ulysses is fantastic looking. I think he has a really good sense, a really good way in his movement and stuff like that, really emotive, and I think they did a nice job with the CGI. When it comes to the other kind of animated character, the cat, which is Danny Pudi's like immortal enemy in this movie, he has a lot of fun moments with it. It doesn't work as well. It doesn't look as good. So once again, unlike, you know, what Disney has been known for doing, I think they're still just not there 100% with the animated characters themselves, the live action animated characters. But once again, this is a movie that's meant more for kids, so I think you can look past it if you like completely enjoy this movie like I did, and kind of give them a pass for the CGI, because this really, like I said, meant more for kids than it is for adults. But I think once again, adults like myself, like yourself, will enjoy the movie. So, but yeah, like I said, to close out the review, it's a movie that's very, very enjoyable. It's very much of a Disney style with the magic and heart and just, you know, wonderment that is very well known in the Disney sphere of live action movies. But it's just a movie I had a lot of fun with. So it's a movie that I definitely highly recommend. I think you'll enjoy it for the 90 minutes it's on screen. So, but that'll do it. That'll be my take on this movie, Flora and Ulysses. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know in the comments below if you decided to see this movie. What do you think of it? Do you agree that it was just an enjoyable movie, a good Disney movie? But otherwise, let me know. Otherwise, if you like what you see on the screen, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. If you liked the video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.